Hi everybody, this is test route number 10 for Nuneaton. We're on the Vernons Lane, what I would describe as facing the wrong way really. So we're going to come up to the roundabout just at the top of Vernons Lane here, and we're just going to go straight ahead. There we go. So it is raining, but this is the only chance I'm going to have this week to do this video, so hopefully you can put up with that. And it's going to rain all week as well apparently, so that's that. Anyway, we're on Vernons Lane and we go to all the way to the end of Vernons Lane, and we're going to turn right when we get to the end. Now obviously this is route number 10, so that means there are 9 others, and if you want to see those, just click the subscribe button. There they are, you can see them all. Also, if you want to see this test route listed out, as always, just look in the description box below and you'll find the test route there. We're going to turn right at the end of this road, and that's going to take us into excuse me, that's going to take us into Tomkinson Road. And as we know, all these streets around here, they're all 20 mile an hour zones, and Tomkinson Road is quite a long road, but it's 20 miles an hour the whole length of it. So we need to bear that in mind. I do apologise about the window wiper keep going over there. Not much else I can do really. So yeah, you'll see lots of information in the description box really. Apart from anything else, you'll see some kind of useful links, which some of the links go to the DVSA with just, you know, forms and things that might help you understand the test, and some are just to help you with different things like, you know, finding insurance and things like that. That's up to you. And also obviously there's the test route listed out there as well. So we're going all the way along Tomkinson Road, and it's 20 because I think it's 20, should I say, because it goes quite narrow in lots of parts of it. So the windows are steaming up as well now. But here's the thing, so it was wide enough for 2 cars to pass, but because this is a bus and it's wider, we're just going to give way. I'm going to give him lots of room, and then we can go through. So it's just on that kind of edge of being wide enough for 2 cars, but not wide enough for a car and a bus or a car and a lorry. Anyway, we're coming now towards the end of it now. And we're going to follow the road around. It bends around to the left here. And obviously now we've moved back into a 30 mile an hour zone. We're on KINGSWOOD Road. So we've got Aldi on the right there. You may be asked to pull into the Aldi car park, do some bay parking. Do very often see people practicing that in there, so you can also pick up your groceries, I suppose, on the way. Just along here we've got a give way. There's no one for us to give way to at the moment, so we're just going to ease through there. And this is where the speed bumps begin along this road as well. So we're on KINGSWOOD Road. This is where the speed bumps have begun. Over these speed bumps you want to be doing something between 10 and 15, no, sorry, 15 and 20 miles an hour. Keep it really slow. Just looking after the car, being kind to the car really. The important thing is that you don't over accelerate as well in between the speed bumps. That you just keep a nice steady pace. We're going to take the next left, and it's the left here by the NISA shop, and that's going to take us into Pennine Way. If you look at the road here in Pennine Way, there's lots of opportunities for the examiner to ask you to pull in and park on the right hand side of the road and reverse. Also, he may ask you to pull in and park just because it's on quite a steep hill, and you might need to do it. It might get you to a hill start along here. Strange that it should be hilly since it's called Pennine Way anyway. Now at the end of this road we're going to turn right. On the DVSA website it says for you to turn left here, but that's not what they do. They actually turn right here. So there's a kind of typo on their instructions, but they actually go right here, not left. And this is WiCLIF Way. And we go all the way to the end of WiCLIF Way, and then we turn right again. Bring us out onto a fairly busy main road, and you can see it goes from 30 straight up to 40, just about here, and so we can go a little bit quicker. Now this will be the section of this test where what they're doing is they're testing you for kind of how you deal or how you cope with higher speeds. 40 is not that fast. But later on there'll be quicker roads still. But what we must do within reason is get up to the speed of the road. Obviously today is quite a wet, horrendous day, so we have to be careful. Lots of puddles, which means your traction isn't going to be as good. So we've just gone wide around a bit of a puddle there. Don't want to aquaplane. And there's a suggestion here that you should go down to 30 on this bend. Now it says 30 there, that's an advisory thing. It's in a square black box. That just means it's advisory. The actual speed limit is still 40. And this is where it changes from 40 to 50 now. Just about here. Going up to 50 miles an hour. So again you can see the speed limits are building up. And again we've got to get up to the speed of the road really. Again within reason, bearing in mind the weather conditions. As you're coming into the bend, particularly one where there's chevrons and markings, just make sure you're slowing down on approach. And then you're easing your way through. We're going to take the next left. It's just around this corner here, just around this bend. It's the next left, and that's going to take us into NUTHURST Lane. This is NUTHURST Lane. And again you can see that it's a 50 mile an hour road. Just today though there's a lorry in front of us. Now because it's wet, we're meant to keep in dry conditions we're meant to keep a 2-second gap on any road that's above 40 or 40 or above, we're meant to keep a 2-second gap between us and the vehicle in front. But because it's wet today, we need to double that and keep a 4-second gap between us and them. So that's why we're hanging back just that little bit further in these kind of weather conditions. So just to let you know, this is May. It's the 9th of May in England, so you know we're still winter really, just for this week. I mean, it should be blazing sunshine, shouldn't it really? There you go. Anyway, we have a 4-second gap. We're on Nuthurst Road, or Nuthurst Lane, and we're just travelling down here. It's quite a long straight road. And it changes back down to 30 here. So make sure that you're doing 30 before, or 30 or below, before you get to the signs. The third gear will help you to do that. And at the crossroads, we're going to be turning left. These are the most recently published test routes from the DVSA, and this will be all 10 done now. So we're still on a 30 zone, and we've turned left at the crossroads, and it is where it changes again from 30 back up to 50. So once we've gone through the 50 signs, then we can increase the speed and get moving. Even on these lanes here, these kind of country lanes, we have to just make sure that we show the examiner that we are confident enough to, you know, cope with these sorts of speeds. It doesn't mean to say that you've got to go extra quick, but it just means to say that you can show that you're not scared of them really. You kind of have that level when you're driving to be able to do that. As you come down here though, what you'll find is there's quite a lot of bends, and from this direction you're coming into the bends down the hill mainly. What we need to do here is we need to just use that brake to get the car under control, get the speed under control before you get to the bend, and then guide the car around. So you don't want to be braking on the bend, that's the point. You want to have that all done, you want to have your speed sorted out prior to getting to the bend. And we're coming to another one now. This is going to be a double bend, but it's down a steep hill. So again, just need to start to brake and the speed sorted out, so we're not braking actually on the bend. So we're not braking and steering at the same time. Same thing with this one. Now we need a bit of gas just to get us up the hill, otherwise we'll end up changing gears. Don't really need to do that. And you can see then, well you will see then, that we're starting to come towards the end of this road and back into Nuneaton. And as we come to the end of the road, we're going to turn right. we're turning right here onto Arbury Road. Quite narrow in parts. Obviously we're back down to a 30 zone now. So because you've been going at 50 just in the countryside just now, and you come back down to the 30 zone, it should feel, you know, fairly slow to you. If it doesn't, then, you know, you need to be checking your speedometer, making sure that you're keeping down to the speed limit. We seem to have hit a bit of a traffic queue. That's fine. This is a road where this happens quite a lot actually. And we'll be going all the way down to the mini roundabout. In the meantime, here we are in the traffic queue. Looks like it's starting to move on again now. Of course, in this slow moving traffic, again, it's important just to keep a little bit of a gap between you and the car in front of you, so that if he does pull up and stop, which, you know, can happen, you can always see his tyres on the road, and that means that you'll be a good distance from him. We're going to be turning right at this mini roundabout now. And it's the one where you can see the Easy Fit shop with the yellow hoardings, so that stands out quite a bit. We're turning into Heath End Road. And as you turn into Heath End Road, then you're instructed to take the next right. Then that takes us into Radnor Drive. Not a very long section here, so but at the end we're going to turn right. Now there's no road markings here, so what we have to do is imagine where they would be if they'd painted them in, and then act accordingly. So one of the features with test routes in Nuneaton is they have managed to find quite a few roads where you come into the end of the road and there isn't any road markings painted in, and I wonder why that is. Well, it's so that to see if you can do that, if you can imagine where they are. Anyway, we're going to take the next left. This is second left off of Radnor Road, and it's into Rossendale Way. Again, it's not a very long road, this Rossendale Way, and when we get to the end of it, we're going to turn left. Again, there's no road markings, so we've just got to imagine where they would be. Make sure that we've looked both ways before we cross what would be the line, and that's going to take us into Charnwood Avenue, which bends around here. And also it bends around here. It doesn't look like it does because, again, there's no road markings. So I'm just going to indicate and take the car around, because for all the world that looks like a junction, but both of these roads are our Charnwood Avenue. So write to your council, write to your MP, because it's quite dangerous that. We're going to take the next right here. And this takes us into ATHOLL Crescent. So around here they've built some nice houses overlooking fields, you know, nice all detached, semi-detached driveways, 3-4 bedroom houses, and not bothered to paint any road markings in. Don't ask me where the logic of that is, because I couldn't tell you. Okay, at the end of this road then we're going to turn right. So this is ATHOLL Crescent. At the end we're turning right, and it's going to take us back into Heath End Road. We're just following this around. So we're just passing the tyre place on the right, and there's some traffic lights here. We're going to turn right at these traffic lights. So we're turning right at the lights into TENLONS Road, TENLONS Road, where it's a little bit in an industrial part of it. Cars parked all over the place, so you have to kind of pick your way through. As we follow this around, you'll see that we're going to come to the end of the road again soon. Give way to the Fiat 500, and then we're going to turn left at the end. So we're just turning left at the end of this road, and that takes us into Bermuda Road. We're turning left at the end of Bermuda Road as well. Should be able to fit through there. Let's see. Looking clear for us. So there's a crossing here, this time it's on green, and then there's a mini roundabout where we're turning right at that mini roundabout, and that will take us into the RAYWOODS. This junction here, going right, for me it's a first gear roundabout. And a lot of the roundabouts in Nuneaton, you know, if you're turning right at them, because they're so tight, because they've almost been just drawn on the road, and you know, it makes it very tight. I'd say if you're turning right for most of them, you need to be in first gear. Not all, but most. Over the speed bumps again. This, the RAYWOODS, is a 30-mile-an-hour zone, but because of the speed bumps, you're not going to get up to that speed. Just take it nice and steady. We're going to go over the speed bumps between 15 and 20, and make sure that you don't accelerate in between the speed bumps. Just allow the car just to move itself along. Just be a little bit laid back, and that'll be perfect then. As we come to the end of the RAYWOODS there, then we're going to turn right again, and again it's a mini roundabout. It's a mini roundabout, and it's also the end of the road, so everything is screaming at us, and it's blind on our right hand side. Everything is screaming at us to use first gear to go round here. like that. There you go. This is taking us into Croft Road, and we're heading back towards the test centre now. So it's been quite a short route, really. Quite a short route. There's been lots of opportunities for the examiner to ask you to pull in and park and move off again, as you'll notice from a lot of the roads, and lots of opportunities for the examiner also just to ask you to pull in and park and do some manoeuvres, do some reversing. So that stretches it out a bit. But for me, this isn't the most difficult route. It's a bit like, you know, turn left, turn right. It's a bit intense that way, but it isn't the most difficult route. And well, I think you've been quite lucky if you've managed to get this one. Still raining. I think it's going to rain all day. Well, in fact, it says it's going to rain all week, but you know, they are right most of the time, I suppose, nowadays. So we're just approaching the mini roundabout here on Croft Road. It's the Greenmoor mini roundabout, and well, it's always quite busy here anyway, but for us it looks like we're going to be able to keep moving here. We're going past the end of Tomkinson Road. And that then just takes us down this hill. Pedestrian crossings is on red at the moment, so that's just going to hold us up. A couple of cars in front of us have stopped blocking the junction up, so that's another lesson there. Just try and remember not to do that. I know that you won't do. Your instructor has informed you about all of that stuff as well. Okay, and when we get to the mini roundabout, we're going to turn left. So we're just turning left, that's the first exit, and it's going to take us into Beaumont Road. Quite a tight little turn. Not many people about today, really. It's such horrible weather. As we come to the end of Beaumont Road, we can see where these green fences are. I'm going to follow the road around to the left. What we're going to do is drop the car back into second gear again, just because we know as we come around here there's a give way in the middle of the road, and also the speed limit drops to 20. So everything there is telling us it should be in second gear, and now we're just going to give way, let these people come through. And that's test route number 10 for Nuneaton. And well, again, you know, I'm just going to pull up in a second or two. If you want to see the test route listed out, just look in the description box. And also, if you want to see some useful links, general information, and everything else, again, look in the description box. And if you want to see all the other test routes for Nuneaton, then just click the subscribe button, and there you go. In the meantime, I wish you luck with everything, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.